Hi, everybody. I'm PJ Kwong at Skating PJ with another great live presentation for Skate Ontario. Today, we're going to be talking about taking your skating club or skating school to the next business level. And we are delighted to be co-hosting this presentation with our champion partner, National Bank. So let's get started. I'm going to introduce our representatives from the National Bank first, and then we're going to get going. So first of all, I'd like to introduce you to Rob Pacey. Rob is a branch manager from the Toronto area for National Bank. Rob, thanks for joining us. And next up, I'd like to introduce Kevin Rose. Kevin is the team lead for commercial banking, also for National Bank. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
Great. You know what? We have a jam-packed presentation today. We got lots of great tips that we're going to get to, and Kevin has put together this sensational presentation. But first, I thought it would be kind of cool to introduce into our presentation a couple of representatives from our Skate Ontario family. The first representative is a skater who came up through the Skate Ontario ranks, and that's none other than Olympic gold medalist, world bronze medalist, and two-time Canadian champion, Gabby Daleman. Now, earlier this week, Gabby had a chance to say a couple of words. So let's just hear what she has to say before we introduce her. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I was able to start at a skating club and skate all my way to Olympic gold. Thank you, National Bank, for helping schools and clubs in Skate Ontario.
I told you she'd have lots to say. So without further ado, I am very happy to introduce this amazing Skate Ontario champion, Gabby Daleman. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It's truly a pleasure and an honor.
What I'd like to find out from you, Gabby, and because Rob and Kevin are newbies to our skating family, can you tell them a little bit about being a skater in the Skate Ontario family, what that's meant to you?
Honestly, it's meant the world to me. I was born in Toronto, grew up in Newmarket, born and raised there. I started skating at a little club called the Hilltop Skating Club, which is based out of a school, Pickering College. And without you guys and your support, I would not be where I am today. I grew up in that rink, and it literally has made me skate to Olympic gold. All rinks I've trained at, Hilltop, Richmond Hill, Cricket Club, now the Granite Club, are all part of Skate Ontario, and they have all made me Canadian champion, world record holder, Canadian record holder, Olympic champion, world medalist, four continents medalist, and it's all because of you guys and how much you support us and our schools and clubs in Skate Ontario. So thank you really much.
Gabby, that's fantastic. So, gentlemen, how close have you been to an Olympic medalist aside from today? Not that close, I'm guessing.
Not at all. Never been right next to one.
See, it's worth knowing the page. That's all I'm going to say. I want to say, too, that we have another wonderful example of somebody who's doing a lot of good in our Skate Ontario family, and that is none other than Acacia Hill. Acacia founded and is the director of the Brampton Hill Skating Academy. She's a former Skate Ontario skater, and she also had a couple of things to say. So let's have a listen.
Hello, my name is Acacia Hill. I am the owner and founder of Brampton Hill Skating Academy based out of Brampton, Ontario. Thank you, National Bank, for supporting small skating school owners like me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Acacia Hill. Hey, Acacia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
What I'd like to know, Acacia, is can you tell us a little story or a little anecdote about being a skating school owner here in Skate Ontario?
Oh my goodness. Being a skating school owner is amazing. My school is Brampton Hill Skating Academy. It's actually been a chance for healing and rejuvenation for me after I had a huge setback in 2019. But, you know, when one door closes, a new one opens up, and I am actually the first female Black-owned skating school in Canada. So it's huge. It's amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
At my school, we offer both an on-ice and off-ice curriculum, such as theater on ice. We have ballet. We have flexibility and movement class, and it's open to everyone and anyone. It has a safe training environment for all. And we're just very optimistic, even though we're in such bleak times right now with COVID. We keep persevering, and I can't wait to see what the future has for my school. So,
do you know what, Acacia? That's fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us. Okay, I am holding you two ladies, Gabby and Acacia in particular, I'm holding your feet to the fire to make sure that if there are any questions that come up, because you are representatives of our biggest groups here at Skate Ontario, I'm hoping that you will be able to pose those questions. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that in the comments section below on Facebook and also on YouTube, you are very welcome and in fact encouraged to pose questions and comments. And without further ado, I'm going to drag Rob Pacey into this conversation to sort of set things up for today.
Thanks, PJ. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rob Pacey, and I'm a branch manager here in the GTA for National Bank. It's definitely a pleasure to be here virtually this afternoon to partner with Skate Ontario and to discuss business strategies and solutions aimed at growing your skating school to clubs. So just a little bit about National Bank. We were founded in 1859, and actually we were founded to help entrepreneurs like yourselves grow their businesses. And for the last 162 years, National Bank has been helping Canadians with all their financial needs. We currently have 587 branches with experts to assist you, not only for your business needs, which we'll be discussing with you today, but also for your personal banking needs, financial and retirement planning, investment, wealth management, private banking, and financing needs. So we hope that you enjoyed this unique opportunity to have my business partner, Kevin Rose, present to your skating community and being available to answer your questions. On behalf of National Bank, we thank you for your participation this afternoon, and we look forward to future events we can share with you. And over to Kevin.
Just before I go to Kevin, I want the super exciting news to go out that is that we have a free Echo Show 5 donated by National Bank. I've even got a photo of it, which is this cool little gizmo, and you can make phone calls on it, watch things on it, and read things on it. I mean, it is super cool. So that is going to be given out randomly to a very lucky spectator today. You don't have to be watching live online, although that's what we hope you're doing, and a whole bunch of you already are. Contest will close midnight. At 11:59 p.m. rather on Sunday. There will be a secret phrase shown a little bit later in our presentation. I'm also going to post the link for where you can enter the contest, and you have to actually put in the secret phrase in order to be eligible, and then it will be made by a random draw, and whoever wins will be posted on our website. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Okay, Kevin, up to you. And you know what? We're going to keep our fingers crossed, because I'm PowerPoint stupid, that we're going to be able to do this. That's what I'm hoping.
Clear instructions.
Okay, so Kevin, take it away.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Acacia and Gabby, for being here as well. Honestly, it's amazing to be this close to Skate Ontario and Olympic champion. Like PJ is mentioning, everyone, make sure you go register for the draw for the Amazon Echo 5. And with that said, let's get started. So very quickly, on the next slide, we have just some numbers about National Bank. Rob did go over. Quickly, I just want to say we are a bank founded by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. That's in our DNA, our spirit, everything that we do. One of the 6 largest banks in the country. We have over 138,000 business clients. So with that said, let's see what we can do to help you guys out with your business. So like it or not, you're a business owner. Running or taking part in a business involving something you love and are passionate about is great. However, all too often the business side of things become neglected. Remember, your job isn't just on the ice. Pushing back business activities can have huge financial as well as reputational consequences. CRA fines for late, inaccurate, or poor reporting, losing employees over late or incorrect pay, maybe even losing access to the rink because lease or rent payment bounced simply because you forgot what day of the month it was. Although it may not seem like it initially, a properly running business will save you time and so much money in the long run. So moving on, let's see how we can do that. So how can you keep or even achieve that balance? Well, you're the expert in your field, so leverage the experts in other fields. Whether it's you just don't have the experience or it's just too advanced for you to learn. Less time spent on non-money generating activities equals more time spent growing the business by being in it and doing what you love, or maybe just equals some extra downtime for yourself. If you do love accounting or are passionate about it, then by all means take it on yourself and commit to continued learning to keep your business in the black. Hate accounting? There are tons of options for small businesses out there, from traditional accountants, part-time virtual CFOs, as well as the recent explosion of online accounting software. Use that time for something else. So now let's meet those partners who can help you achieve those goals. First up is your business account manager. Now, I promise this slide is not too biased. You'll notice this slide is very busy, however. I kept it like this on purpose because your business account manager can help you with so much more than just opening an account, and so many people do not take advantage of this. But the key here is to be open and transparent about your business, your needs, challenges, and even where you might just be completely lost. Understanding the business needs allows your account manager to do the guidance, make suggestions, and offer up products that may benefit you. A very common question we get is, how can I lower my fees? Now, believe it or not, this is almost an impossible question to answer on the surface without understanding the business. Maybe you're racking up charges from depositing checks at the branch when it's almost free to do so via app or ABM deposit. Maybe instead of depositing checks on a monthly basis, you could be auto-debiting accounts on a monthly basis. Maybe your point of sale terminal is costing you a lot more than you think. The list goes on and on and on. Now, a lot of these the account manager may not do themselves personally, but they will make the referral and connect you to the right partner. This will help get you set up with online payroll, point of sale terminal, better processing fees, etc., etc. Think of them as your own personal center of influence.
Kevin.
I see we're way ahead in the presentation, PJ.
So that's what I'm kind of wondering. So hang on a second, everybody. Let's get organized. I'm just trying to match your words to the pictures. Hold on. Okay, let's get organized here. So is this the one?
Back one.
One more?
Yeah.
There. Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody, but I warned you. I warned you, didn't I?
No worries.
I don't even know how that happened. Okay.
So I'll just leave it on this slide for a minute, just because a lot of it was, I think, moving forward. We do have a question that came in, though, I see here. Because of COVID and the close down, what will you do for small business like Acacia? Or like Acacia, sorry. So most of the support is through the government. So one thing that's important to, remember is the bank is here to support you more on the growth side, and we'll do what we can if you are lending, et cetera, to see what we can connect you with. However, how we've been helping all businesses through COVID is really making sure they're aware of the government programs in place, because there are so many of them, and it is a very, very confusing area. Now, they have a lot of different restrictions and qualifications. So also as a small business owner, what we've noticed at the bank is it's very hard to actually know and understand what you qualify for, what you need, etc. So in a situation like that, again, it'll have to do with, I would recommend a visit with your account manager. They'll know how to refer you to the correct government source, or depending on what your issue is, they may have an in-house solution to help you out.
I think there may be a family resemblance there with Acacia using the last name. Hi, Merville. That's Acacia's mom. Great question. Love the fact that questions are coming in. We have tons of people already on this Lunch and Learn webinar. So just make sure that you follow along, and I will try to have no more PowerPoint errors. Honestly, there's no guarantee.
Okay, so we'll go forward one.
Okay, you got it.
So moving on to some of the other partners.
There we go.
Other important partners to have in your corner, or at least on speed dial. We'll cover accounting a little bit more the next slide, but a good accountant will be worth their fee. And it's worth your time to find one who has experience dealing with skating clubs or schools. They will not only prepare your financials, but can also provide insight into what those numbers mean, compare your year-over-year results to highlight any concerning trends and help you spot issues early before they become a large problem. They can also set you up with a budget for the year to help you keep on track and even run scenarios such as what if. So what if revenue dropped 25%? What if there was a pandemic? Will the business survive? How can I ensure it does? These are all important planning aspects for any business. Next up is a lawyer. Now, lawyer is especially important when there's a board of directors or multiple shareholders in a school or club. You'll want to ensure the structure is set up correctly, as well as specific agreements that may be in place are properly done. Additionally, power of attorneys and wills ensure business continuity and that authority can transfer to the correct people if needed. Now, it's always good to have any of these documents or agreements reviewed every few years or anytime there's a major change. For example, bringing a new partner on board or removing an old partner. Additionally, having them review any leases or large purchases you are making, because you never know what they may find. Next up, much like your lawyer, your insurance agent will review your policies, recommend changes, updates, etc., based on your needs. But it's important to be open with them. Added new employees, increased your number of skaters recently, you should probably review your insurance coverage to ensure it's sufficient. Premiums may go up, but imagine the cost if something were to happen and your coverage wasn't up to date. Finally, family. Whether it's just emotional support, someone to vent or even brag to, family can do wonders for your work-life balance and mental clarity. Not to mention the possibility of free labor. So moving on, how you can adjust or take small steps to take care of business yourself. So running the business, you have to take care of business to stay in business. And I'm talking about the back end of business here, likely not the part you're very passionate about. So here's a list of 10 simple accounting practices to implement to help save you time and money. Maybe even in here, it'll highlight a thing or two you haven't thought of before. First up, so easy. Follow the law. Just file on time. Have a good accountant, and you'll save yourself the hassle of audits, late filing fees, or penalties. Educating yourself and keeping yourself up to date on your accounting. If your business is simple enough and you don't feel a need for a full-time accountant, then take it on yourself. But be sure you invest the time to learn so it's done properly. Most accounting software provides training beyond how to use the software, so make sure you take advantage of that. Next up is be organized. To do your accounting properly, you have to keep proper records, be detailed, and file your expenses, receipts, purchase orders, etc. Keeping your receipts in a shoebox, handing it over to your accountant is not the most efficient method. With today's software, you can take a photo of them for instant upload and record keeping. Why put off filing your paperwork when you can do it day to day? Processing invoices, payroll, payments, etc. Get them done as soon as you get them in. Like your expenses, taking care of them and items as they come in versus spending hours once a month trying to sort through them and remember everything will save you so much time and frustration. And who knows, maybe you'll start to love that side of the business. Automate as much as you can also. Payroll, monthly member fees, collection, invoice, billing, etc. Like I mentioned before, less time on non-money generating activities equals more time on money generating activities, or more downtime for you if that's your preference. Finally, keep an eye on your performance. It shouldn't be a shock to you at the end of the year that revenue was down 30% or you're suddenly posting a loss. By keeping on top of things, you can address them right away. Now, not sure what the issue is or how to fix it? That's what your partners are there for. Save your time and let them do their thing. So that was a lot. I'll pause for a second here. I'm not sure if we had any comments come in or any questions from everyone.
I have a question, Kevin. When you're talking about make expenses strategically, point number 7, can you speak a little bit more about that? Because small business owners notoriously have expenses on the fly. So the strategy part of that, I'd like to know more about that.
So the strategy has to do with how quickly you're paying them or how quickly you're getting money in. Now, it's a little bit different in a skating school or club where the member dues or fees are kind of paid on the spot. But if you're dealing with a supplier, instead of paying them right away, see if you can push that payment out 15, 20, 30 days. See if you can get a discount if you're going to pay it immediately. And vice versa. If you have payables or people owe you money coming in, give them a discount if they're paying right away, or look at giving them credit terms over a longer period of time. It's just about trying to balance your accounts or money coming in versus money going out. So you don't have all sorts of money going out today, but no money coming in until 3 weeks from now, because then you're going to have an issue if you haven't budgeted properly.
And for the small business owner and the people who are newer in the business, skating school owners like Acacia, for instance, does your manager help you with that? Are these tricks of the trade that if you don't know how to do, somebody can walk you through?
Yeah, so this is all items that a business account manager, accountant can help you with. Even the online do-it-yourself cloud-based services will have individuals you can talk to or kind of prepare reports for you. So you can see that in any given month, maybe 50% of your payables are due within the first week, but you don't get 70% of your money coming in until the end of the month. So it's about how do you bridge that gap and spotting the difference. So an account manager can help you spot that and how to fix it by using, it depends on how flexible the payments are, where they're coming from, etc. But it's worth a conversation just to see.
That's great. Anybody else have any questions? Kevin, you're laying things out so easily for people to understand. There'll be lots of questions in the Q&A that will follow this presentation for anybody that's following along on Facebook or on YouTube. Just can jump in with questions or you can hold them till the end. Next slide.
So we'll go on to the next slide. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so to finish off, there we go. To finish off, I'm going to end with a short but very important topic, the importance of a separate saving account for your club or school. Now, in a nonprofit, this may be referred to as a reserve fund, but it's the exact same thing. Savings can help you keep you running during an off season, an unexpected drop in clients, or even an almost complete shutdown like we're witnessing today. Savings can also give your club or school the ability to grow in the future. Need to hire additional staff? Maybe an amazing opportunity to purchase equipment or participate in an event has suddenly come up. If you've been saving diligently over the years, then no problem, you can partake in it. Now, how can this be achieved when it seems like you're operating payroll to payroll or just barely breaking even at the end of each month or even year? There's always money hiding somewhere, whether it's starting small and earmarking a small percent of your monthly deposits to a savings account and gradually increasing this over time, or revisiting the partners we went over with earlier for assistance. As we discussed, each one can help you save money. So instead of spending that savings, put it away. So that's the end of the formal presentation. So
can I stop sharing?
Sorry, PJ, I missed you.
I can stop sharing?
You can stop sharing.
Whew, that's the scariest thing I've done all day. So for everybody, we're going to start a Q&A, and the floor is open to anybody with any kind of comments or questions. I know that as you were doing your presentation, Kevin, I have a couple of questions. But before we get started, I just want to remind everybody of the generous gift that National Bank is offering, which is this amazing Amazon, try saying that fast, Echo Show 5. Which is a great little gizmo. We have a contest that's open that is going from now until 11:59 on Sunday. I'm going to put the link for where you can go into the contest, and that's going to be in our comments section underneath Facebook and YouTube. And good luck, everybody. And thank you, National Bank, for doing that. That's fantastic. Okay. Who's got questions? I do. Anybody else?
I do.
Okay, Acacia, you got the floor.
I have a question in regards to grants or finding hidden money in other places that can help small businesses where you don't have to take out a loan. Do you guys have any info on your websites where small businesses like myself can find those things?
So again, we have some info on our website, but as I'm sure if you've done any sort of research on grants, you know there's just tons and tons and tons out there. You could spend days looking at them all. So anything when it comes to do with grants, this is a really good opportunity or reason to be working with an accountant who knows the ins and outs of the skating club, skating school industry, because there'll probably be grants for something as specific as skating schools. And then you may even qualify for ones more under, business, small business, entrepreneurship, etc. So while the bank may not directly refer you or have a list available for you, we do have partners and connections that do basically their job is to search out grants, see what you can qualify for and assist you. As well, we do have some knowledge and insights on some of the larger ones, but a lot of the smaller ones, that's where having a good accountant or maybe an insider in the industry would really help you locate those specific ones.
Kevin and Rob, we've got a great question that's just come in from Shannon Williams. I'm sorry that it's long enough, but basically the gist of it is, how can the National Bank, through your business programs, help small skating clubs in rural communities recover from the financial fallout of COVID? We all have the support, and keeping all the skating clubs, small clubs operating is so important. Any tips on keeping smaller organizations thriving?
Yeah, so we unfortunately see this a lot, and it really has to do with knowing your business, knowing your partners. One suggestion, again, would be to sit down with your business account manager or accountant, see where the fees are coming from. Because in a time like this where revenue is scarce or it's hard to get any, you have to focus on what you can control. And that's going to be the expenses. Now, the expenses, it's going to be a little bit harder, some of the cuts, but in conjunction with some of the government programs, you may find that it's not quite as bad a reality as it's led to believe. Now, again, I've seen it way too many times, just simply because there's so much info out there. There's so many different options with different qualification reasons. It's super overwhelming and super easy to think that nothing is available for you. So rather than getting overwhelmed, seek the support of your partners. They're there to help, see what your situation is, and work through you with it.
Terrific. I have a quick question for Rob. Rob, you manage a couple of branches in Toronto. What has the behavior been like since COVID? Has the behavior of just ordinary customers changed in any way? You're on mute, Rob. Although lots of people are trying to get to stay on mute. Anyway.
I get that a lot. Yeah, definitely a lot of changes in behaviors of our clients. So especially being on lockdown again right now, although banking, we are essential service, but a lot of people are staying at home. So people's behaviors and habits have changed. A lot of clients are doing more of their banking online and mobile rather than coming into the branch. But we're still here to help them navigate. So, if they haven't been on our platforms before, a lot of our employees have become more educators and coaches to help our clients navigate. And the other thing I was going to circle back to in terms of behaviors and what we do. So one of the questions was talking about if the parents have been impacted by COVID. Same thing on the personal side. There's a lot of government support out there. Some is more well known than the other. So if you have parents that are struggling, I'd probably encourage them to go see their advisor at their bank so they can help them navigate what personal programs are available to them.
I'm going to show some of the amazing information and resources that people out there in our audience are looking at. Ontario Small Business Support Grant. I don't know, I haven't heard of that before. Maybe you guys have in the banking business, but out there in the audience. If you haven't, check it out. And then we had an earlier comment from Teresa Westergaard Hager, who said Jumpstart also has some funding available. So there are things out there that are available for people. And I find that one of the things that works really well is the whole idea of networking person to person. So it's how many businesses are done. Kevin, are you noticing that, as a team lead, are you noticing that some of the anecdotal experience that people have with their bank helps to lead you to new business?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going into your bank looking for help and they're, not helping you out or trying to push you into something you don't want, then obviously that's leaving a bad taste in your mouth. So, we do have a benefit at National Bank where we tend to kind of keep smaller portfolios. So most of our clients we know. During COVID, we had some newsletters with info we were sending out just to keep them informed, especially as it seemed every single day the government policies were changing with new updates for funding available, new qualifications, etc. Just a note on the Ontario Small Business Support Grant. I think there's a couple grants that are being done locally. So kind of like through a local business center or innovation center. So check with your region. I believe it's almost municipality based. So these ones, unlike the Canadian Emergency Business Account, aren't being done through the bank. It's being done more locally.
Great information. Another quick question, and this has to do with money. Recently in the news, there was a local hockey association, or it may not have been local now that I think about it. Anyway, there was a problem with too many fingers in the cookie jar. As the owner of a skating school, or as somebody on the executive of a skating club, how are the safeguards, or what are the safeguards to make sure that money isn't being sort of siphoned off the top?
So especially in nonprofits where you have a lot of directors and changing ownership consistently, it's important to have proper controls in place. So whether that's 2 to sign, 2 of the 5 directors to sign, 2 of the 4 directors to sign, but having it clearly written out so it's clear who has ability to do what. And the same with online access, making sure you're giving access to the right people and putting the same controls in place there. So, for example, making sure that it's a 2-step process to send a wire transfer, 2-step process to pay a bill or pay a supplier. And what I mean by that is one administrator needs to log on to initiate the transaction, and then someone else has to log on to verify, make sure it's good, and then have it processed. So things like that can really help. Also, just keeping your signers up to date. So again, we see this mostly in the nonprofit sector where we do see board of directors because they're reelected every 2 years or so. So making sure that you're adding the new directors, removing the others, and that includes removing their online access so that you don't have individuals out there that still have access to the accounts.
Do you know, I've had a couple of really interesting conversations with stakeholders within the Skate Ontario community who have complained how difficult it is for, this is more about clubs, I'm not sure about schools, but to be able to get a business credit card account. That often we're finding that board executives are having to pay for things on their personal credit card and then get reimbursed by a club. I see Acacia nodding about that.
I was just about to ask that question.
Go for it.
It's very hard to get a credit card, and it's very hard to get like a POS terminal. So you have to go to other small up-and-coming kind of companies to get POS systems, and it's very, very difficult to get a credit card. So it's very challenging for businesses when you're first starting out.
So does that apply to things like, skaters registering for your program, they want to pay by credit card? Is that what you're talking about? So the POS system is one part of it, but you being able to pay expenses with a credit card is the other part? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. Kevin, you're up.
Perfect. So 2-part question. So the POS terminal, just to give you some insight to the background, when you are applying for that, they're basically doing a credit check on the business. Oftentimes they'll ask for financial statements. So just going back to the point of making sure you keep your business in line, you have your accounts up to date, everything's looking good, can help a lot when getting that. On the flip side, the credit card, it is difficult as a small business. And generally what we're doing is we're giving a business MasterCard that's joint in several. What that means is that it's in the business name. However, it's basically the individual that's kind of guaranteeing it or under the individual name, simply because corporate guaranteed cards really are kind of for the big companies. So I mean, even outside of the, kind of the small, medium enterprise, we're not doing a whole lot of corporate cards. Most of our other business clients, they're all joint and several liability. Now, an option like that generally isn't possible, probably in the club setup, just simply because of the board of directors. It's a nonprofit. So in order to get a card, it has to be corporate because none of the directors will want to sign personally for it. And then in that case, we can do a card. However, it needs to be secured. So normally it would be like a cash deposit. So $5,000 deposit for $5,000 limit on the card. And then, I mean, as the business moves and grows and can support more, we can look at removing the security. But, unfortunately, it is difficult to get a card in the name of a business without having the individual involved at the small business level.
You know what? I've got a great question coming up for Gabby, and it's coming out of a comment from Michaela Hill, who wants to know, supporting skating schools also comes with supporting skaters. Will National Bank provide funding for athletes in these skating schools at some point in the future? I'm going to lobby that question over to Rob, because as our champion partner, we've got all kinds of tricks up to our sleeves, Skate Ontario, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, Gabby, what is it like to be an elite athlete and to know that, someone's got your back?
It honestly means the world, because especially going through a time like this, going through a pandemic, and not even forget what happens in a week or a month. You don't even know what's happening day to day. So to know that someone is in your corner, there for you, got your back, it means a lot, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get the money or the support you're going to need to continue skating. Unfortunately, I haven't been in that situation where I've had money being tight and I don't know if I can do this or not. But with the help of National Bank, with the help of people being in my corner, I've been able to continue skating and finding a way and getting and asking for the help I need. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about what's going on, but it's really interesting, and it's really amazing to hear what you guys are saying and stuff. And it's making me feel a lot better, knowing the details, the work that goes into it, and how you guys have our back, even if we don't know or don't see it. You guys are always there.
That's amazing. Rob, I'm going to go to you, because in our preliminary conversations with National Bank, we talked about a bursary, which we still want to launch. Obviously, COVID sort of dashed our hopes, but what is the position of your organization as far as supporting organizations, supporting what makes us Canadian? How do you feel about that?
So just to give everyone a little bit of background, we partnered with your skating community over a little bit of a year ago. We did an event at the end of last year. COVID hit and everything was put on pause until right now. We have had discussions with PJ, and we definitely will make bursaries available at the club level to support your community. But on a higher level, National Bank has always been a champion supporter of youth and sport. And if you go to our website, nbc.ca, you'll find our social responsibility report. And within the social responsibility report, it'll give you, first off, it'll tell you who we support throughout the year. So kind of give you an indication of the organizations and the communities that we support, but it'll also give you the information on where you can apply to find support.
That's amazing. I have another quick question, and I'm not sure if it's going to be a Kevin or a Rob question, but it's probably a Kevin question. You talked in your presentation about tracking your progress. For skating schools like Acacia's Brampton Hill Skating Academy, is it really fair to be tracking your progress in COVID? Do you just want to just say, let's do a mulligan and start again once we're all vaccinated? Or should you be tracking your progress even though we are not where we normally are? Kevin? Should I go, Kevin? Or Rob, do you want it?
Yeah, I can go.
Kevin.
So yeah, I mean, it's obviously can be a little bit depressing trying to track your progress during COVID. But that said, I mean, you're going to kind of modify your tracking to, like I mentioned before, looking through your budget, your expenses to see where you could possibly cut costs, maybe come up with ideas to kind of generate a little bit of revenue, whether it's a small fundraising thing or, I'm not really sure what you're able to run or not at this point. But no, you definitely need to keep tracking the business. And it's not so much tracking progress, it's more just keeping an eye on what you're doing month to month. So, of course, this month or the month after COVID, revenue dropped, but you have a look at your expenses and then you notice 3 months later, okay, I have no revenue, but my expenses are at the same level. So what's going on here? Because generally the two will kind of move hand in hand. So little things like that you'll pick up. And yeah, it's definitely never stop tracking progress just because things are not good.
Yes, I definitely keep tracking my progress, especially as now I have geared my training to more off-ice training. So still a little bit of income is coming in. So I definitely have to keep managing and keep tracking and set up goals for once we do kind of reopen. So I think, yeah, I should definitely keep tracking.
Is it important? That was the baby. I could just hear him in the background. Acacia's also a new mom, aside from a small business owner.
Okay.
Wow.
I know. It's amazing. And she's looking like she does. It's not fair. Anyway,
Yeah.
just want to just sort of say, so is it important in these times, and maybe Rob, you can speak to this as well, for customers to just kind of, where they can, try and just stay the course? We're not saying everybody's got to be super optimistic, but are there some tips that people can remember, when they go on their back? And then we might reveal our secret phrase. I'm just letting you know, people, make sure you bring in all your friends so you can get secret phrase for the prize. But Rob, let's talk a little bit about maintaining your, if not optimism, your sense that, we're going to eventually get out of this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't know when, but we know that we're going to emerge into a post-COVID world. The world will definitely be a little bit different than what it was pre-COVID. But at the end of the day, people still have their same goals and their same plans. So that plan may alter a little bit. But if you still have those goals, you still need to make sure that you have a plan even throughout these times. The support that is out there for you, and even those that have fixed expenses where perhaps you're not able to access some of the support, but also important to talk to those suppliers, those individuals, those landlords, to see if you can individually come up with a plan as well with them.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right. Who's ready to perhaps, take a look at our fantastic gift that's coming to us from National Bank, which is the Amazon Echo Show 5. This is this amazing gift National Bank is making available to one lucky winner. Our contest ends at midnight on Sunday. You've got to make sure that you connect with us at the following link. I'm just putting it in our chat, but it will also be on our website. And are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Who wants to do the drum roll? Come on. Anybody? Okay. Thank you. Okay, everybody. Here is our secret phrase, and this must be entered in with your entry for the contest. Positive impact is our secret phrase if you want to be able to get the Echo Show 5. That is absolutely fantastic. National Bank, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it. The link for the contest is in our comments, and somebody looks like they're smiling. MH, thank you for the smile. Okay, so I want to ask sort of a couple of other quick wrap-up questions, but Acacia, I want to send this one to you. I'm a little intimidated, believe it or not, by like numbers people, because I'm not so much about the numbers, I'm about the words. How did you feel walking into a bank? Like, how did you feel trying to access those people? Kevin, I'm going to ask you your experience from the other side of the desk, but Acacia, how did you feel?
It was quite nerve-wracking. Thankfully for me, my dad, he was in the financial field, so he definitely helped me get prepared. And my sister, she also has a degree in business, so she also helped me get prepared. And they really guided me through how to, ask the questions I needed once I walked into a bank. So I was a little bit more comfortable with the help from them. So that's definitely eased my way into it. But it was definitely nerve-wracking. And my sister helped me put together a very, very strong portfolio for my business. So it was really good to walk in there a little bit.
That's fantastic, because I'm always the one that I feel like I'm going to be on the Christmas sort of bloop reel, the video reel that says, oh, look at this one that came into the office. Okay, Kevin, are you secretly snickering when people like me come in, or what is your professional stance? Are there no dumb questions, or tell me what you think?
No, I mean, believe it or not, there are no dumb questions, and we're almost excited. And I mean, just to jump back, we're friendly people, so we're happy to see you and happy to learn about what your projects are. When someone comes in and they've obviously put a lot of time and effort into what they want to do, that speaks so much more than someone who's come in and is just looking for, say, financing, and they don't really have a plan. They don't really have a good business sense or anything like that. So no, coming into the bank, especially if you're prepared, never be intimidated. Even if you're just coming in for a question, we get walk-ins all the time. I want to start this business. What kind of, what can you do to help me? And I mean, what, believe it or not, sometimes, well, not believe it or not, but unfortunately, sometimes we can't help everyone. But like I mentioned before, your business account manager can kind of be your own COI. So if we have to refer you off to, say, a government or crown agency like Business Development Bank of Canada, who does more loans for kind of startups versus what a bank would do, we will do that. And we can still partner with them, open up the bank accounts, and still build that relationship and keep it, so that when we're able to take on the full relationship, you already have a history with the bank and everything. So I guess that's the other side that's important, is when you walk into a bank, even if you're fully prepared, sometimes a bank just can't do what the ask is, but that doesn't mean the ask is unreasonable or not going to happen. It just needs to go to the right party, the right partner, the right company, and your account manager can help you figure out who that is.
Rob, I want you to add another couple of words about partnership, in this case between National Bank and Skate Ontario. What does the partnership aspect of the banking business mean to you?
National Bank, we put people first. We're encouraged to get into our community. So obviously, other than knowing PJ and what she does, obviously the skating community to me is new. But it's exciting for me to be able to get back into the community and let people know how we can help them with any of their needs.
Is it a satisfying business to be in with so much bad news out there?
For sure it is. I mean, I've been at National Bank now for over 20 years. And I love coming to work every single day. Those clients that come in here, and for all those watching, I think you would know by now, Kevin helps our clients on the business side, but I help our clients more on their personal banking needs. So we know that people are intimidated when they come into the bank. Don't know why, but that's how people feel. So we get great accomplishment and satisfaction knowing that we're able to help clients. We're not we're good people. We want to help you.
It's funny, I sometimes think that thou protest too much, whatever that expression is. He really is a good guy. Trust me. We've had some great conversations along the way with National Bank. We hope to do more of these lunch and learn webinars, especially with National Bank. So if you have topics that you would like to cover from a business point of view or from a banking point of view, just let us know. Leave them in the comment section or send us a note. Or as you saw, we have a way for you to connect directly with Rob and with Kevin. Rob is Robert W. Pacey at NBC.ca. Kevin is Kevin.Rose at NBC.ca. They're very happy to receive all of your questions and comments. I'm basically going to just say thank you to Acacia Hill, Brampton Hill Skating Academy. You rock. Gabby Daleman, two-time Canadian champion, Olympian, Olympic gold medalist, world bronze medalist. You also rock. Kevin, I learned a whole lot, and now I'm getting better at PowerPoint, which is really the whole point of this. I'm going to let the last word go to Rob, the last thank you, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. This will be replayed both on Facebook and YouTube, so send your friends to this presentation. Our contest is open till midnight, 11:59 actually, on Sunday, and you can win the Amazon Echo Show 5 with showing. Make sure you put in the secret phrase, which is positive impact. Okay, Rob, take it away. A thank you from you. Thanks, everybody. Here we go.
All right. Well, thank you, PJ. On behalf of National Bank, I really want to thank our partners at Skate Ontario for the opportunity to present to you today. Love to thank Acacia and Gabby. Great to hear your insight as well. And thanks to all those that asked questions or are listening live. We take great pride in continuing our commitment to your skating community to help you with all your financial needs. So I sincerely hope that you enjoyed today's presentation, and please reach out to Kevin or myself if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
At National Bank, we believe in putting people first. That even the smallest gestures can make a big impact. Whether it's powering a project or empowering our people and our community. We can make a difference by constantly innovating and finding solutions for every challenge, by listening and letting our actions do the talking. By staying bold and passionate. Each of us, partners and allies, making lasting relationships that go beyond the ask. We're in this together. Here to create a positive impact in people's lives.